Good afternoon, I'm Taylor Richardson and you're watching The Source. Today's Source will be covering what DePauw students are saying about the infamous National Society of Leadership and Success, as well as another opinion piece on DePauw mental health services. According to a 2021 statistic, we see a rise in college students with mental health issues. Around 35% of college students in the U.S. have some form of mental health disorder. The Mental Health America detailed how the coronavirus created the most prominent rise in anxiety with young adults, some just now going into college. So how is DePauw specifically handling these unfortunate statistics? We asked students how their experiences have gone with mental health services on campus.
They were really nice and kind, and that, especially the people behind the desk compared to a couple other services here at DePauw, they definitely were more respectful and treated me like kindly.
Here's what Mental Health Service Director Trevor Uhas said in an email to our news director. We are always open to hearing student feedback as we are continuously looking at options and approaches to provide students with the most accessible, flexible, and creative services as possible. We certainly invite student input, and we also appreciate the support from the campus community as we expand our services to meet the needs of important area of wellness for our students. Thanks for recognizing the work that we are doing while also helping highlight where we can continue to adjust and improve order to best support our students on and campus. In other news, we interviewed DePauw students to find out their thoughts on the National Society of Leadership. Show comments from the NSLS chapter president, Sarah Doss. Next is our weekly War Room segment featuring PACS student and researcher Jake Wood.
Thanks, Taylor. I'm Jake Wood, and this is the War Room. We begin our segment with a number of violent incidents that occurred over the past few days in the Indian state of Jammu and Kashmir. The region, which is the subject of a territorial dispute, has faced a militant insurgency since the 1980s. In recent months, the Indian government has made efforts to demolish or seize properties of Kashmiris, which they claim were built on government land. An undertaking that rights groups such as Human Rights Watch and Amnesty International have described as human rights violations. Militant groups have also issued statements condemning the demolitions, promising to fight against what they refer to as settler colonialism. This has led to the recent uptick in violence as militant groups make good on their promises. On Saturday, February 24th, a coalition known as the United Liberation Front claimed responsibility for a grenade attack on Jammu and Kashmir police in the town of Bandipora. The next day, on Sunday, the group carried out a targeted assassination of a settler in Pulwama. Police and the Indian Army launched a manhunt for the individuals involved in the assassination, which resulted in a gun battle on Monday that killed 2 militants and 1 soldier. Militant groups have threatened that more attacks will take place in the coming weeks. In other news, the president of El Salvador, Nayib Bukele, has announced that 2,000 suspected gang members have been transferred to a new mega-prison known as the Center for the Confinement of Terrorism. The prison is built to house an estimated 40,000 people and is made up of 8 buildings. The installation has been the center of Bukele's strong anti-crime initiatives, which are aimed at dismantling the powerful MS-13 and 18th Street gangs. Violence in El Salvador from criminal gangs has been a major problem for the Central American country for decades, and the fight against them has remained the top priority for the nation's president. In March of last year, Bukele declared a, quote, war on gangs, which has resulted in the arrests of over 60,000 people suspected of involvement with criminal organizations. Human rights groups have criticized this campaign, arguing that prisoners have been subjected to cruel treatment. However, the anti-crime policies of Bukele's administration remain extremely popular among the country's people, especially as the homicide rates drop as a result of them. Thank you for watching The War Room, a segment of The Source. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and subscribe to our YouTube channel to keep up with the real news.